There are a lot of powerful and useful unique weapons and items in Dune Awakening that you can easily miss. So in this video, I will be showing you a ton of weapons and items that you don't want to miss in Dune Awakening. But first, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos just like this one, subscribe to this channel. Now first up, we will grab a very strong early game rifle. To get it, you will need to head over to the Broken Bones station. When you get here, clear out all of the enemies, then go to the top floor of the northern building. And here you will find a chest with a schematic for the Aaron's Vengeance unique rifle. This is a strong rifle that will do 7.8 damage per shot, but every time you pull the trigger it will fire a burst of 3 darts, making it triple its damage output if all darts hit the same target, which will be a lot of damage during the early game. But to make this rifle, it will cost 8 copper ingots, 3 mechanical parts, and 3 spice-infused copper dust. For the next weapon, you will need to go to the wreck of the Alcyon, which will be right here on your map. When you get here, you will need to run through the ship to get to the final room of the ship, and here you will find a chest with the schematic for the Kaifs Drinker knife inside of it. Now this is a must-have during the early game because of the special effect that this knife will have, which is whenever you hit an enemy with this knife, it will drain blood from them, and that blood will be placed into an open blood bag that you're carrying. It will also do some good damage, but it makes farming for blood a lot easier, because you will be able to multitask by killing enemies and draining blood from them at the same time, instead of having to kill the enemies then suck the blood out of them. But making the Kaifs Drinker will cost 5 copper ingots, 7 plasteel microflora fibers, and 1 spice-infused copper dust. Now while you're at the wreck of the Alcyon, you should also make your way to this location. Climb up this spire and at the top you will find a crashed Thopter. But hidden behind it will be a chest. This chest will always have 1 schematic in it, which will always be a piece of the Aaron's armor set. This armor set will be a good early game armor set because of the armor value on it, and it will reduce the damage you take from light and heavy darts and blades. It's a very good early game armor set, but you will need to visit this location multiple times to get the full set of armor. The loot inside of the chest will reset every 45 minutes, so always make a pit stop here when you're in the area. For the next item, you will need to go over to the Imperial Testing Station number 2. At the end of this area, you will find another chest, and inside of it will be the Emperor's Wings schematic. This will be a unique suspensor belt that will make it so you can double tap the jump button to float upwards, which will help you get around the game a lot easier and make less vibrations on the sand. The next weapon will be a unique mining tool. To get it, you will need to head over to Griffin's Reach trade post, then use the contract board to get the scrap metal contract. I think there will be around 5 contracts within this contract chain, but at the end of this contract chain you will be given the unique Sims cutter. This will be an upgraded mining tool that will increase the amount of resources you gather with it, but it will also work on iron ore, which you will start to encounter in the next stage of the game. So it's great to grab this and then have it ready for when you move on to that next stage of the game, but it will also help you get to that stage faster by getting you more metal and copper. An alternative way to get the Sims cutter will be to go to the Keyhole rock location, which will be right here on your map. And on the second floor of the building here, you will find a chest that will have a chance to have the Sims cutter schematic inside of it. It won't be in the chest every time, but it does have a high chance of being there. From here, we will need to head over to the Old Griffin Hideaway, which will be right here on the map beside the trade post. And when you get there, you will find a cave. Now there won't be any enemies inside of that cave, but there will be explosive traps that you will need to avoid. But at the end of the cave you will find a chest with a schematic for the unique Way of the Fallen pistol. This pistol will be a lot better than the basic pistol that you will have at the start of the game. It will have a base damage of 10.4 and it will have a much higher rate of fire, but the cost to craft it will be 6 copper ingots, 3 mechanical parts, and 3 spice-infused copper dust. To get the next item, we will need to head over to Dew Gap Gateway. When you get here, clear out the enemies at this location, then make your way to the top floor, and here you will find another schematic chest. But in this chest you will find a schematic for one piece of the Hollower still suit. In my opinion, this is a must-have when you first start the game, because this suit will give you the utility of a still suit which will passively create water for you, but it also has a high armor value, which most still suits do not have. So if you get every piece of the Hollower still suit, you will have an armor set that will provide you with water and also give you a good amount of protection. But speaking of water, that will lead us to the next item, which can be found right here on your map. When you get here, you will have to climb this tall spire, which can be kind of tricky, but at the top you will find another schematic chest, and inside of it you will find the Hydra Litterjon, which is a unique water bottle. This water bottle will hold a lot more water than a normal water bottle. And the last 3 items on the list will all be weapons that you can get as soon as you enter the second stage of the game. This will quickly improve your weapons to handle the harder enemies that you will encounter. First, you will need to go to the wreck of the palace, which will be right here on your map. Now this will be a PvP zone, but it's usually not that busy and it's generally pretty safe. When you get here, you will need to make your way to the middle of the ship, then use your cutter to open this door on the left. Grab the key in this room, then make your way through the ship. And at the end of the ship, you will find a schematic chest that will have a schematic for one of 3 weapons. Now we really only want 2 of them, which will be the FAs Regret rifle and the Legion Tattoo Disruptor SMG. But it wouldn't be like the end of the world if we got the 3rd one, which is the Way of the Wanderer pistol. The FAs Regret is a very strong rifle that will do 12 damage per shot, and it fires in a burst of 3 shots, so it will do a lot of damage. The Legion Tattoo is the best early game disruptor SMG. It will have a very high rate of fire and a large magazine, but it will also do 10.6 damage per shot, and you can use it to take out enemy shields from a safe distance, so you won't need to use your sword to deal with those shielded enemies. And like I mentioned, you can also get the schematic for the Way of the Wanderer pistol from this chest, but the Way of the Wanderer isn't really that special, it will just have a high base damage of 16.1. And the final weapon on the list will come from the Miner's Watch location right here on your map. When you get here, you will find a lot of enemies, and a majority of them will be shielded, so it will be helpful if you get that Legion Tattoo SMG first. But once you clear out all of the enemies here, you can make your way to the chest on the 2nd floor. And in this chest you will find the schematic for the Pseudo Pulse Sword. This unique sword will have a high base damage of 21.4 per hit, making it a very strong melee weapon. And those are a bunch of weapons and items that you don't want to miss in Dune Awakening, but there is still so much more out there hidden across the game. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos just like this one, subscribe to this channel. But I hope this video helped you, and thank you for watching.